Okay, hello. Hey guys, this is International Master John Bartholomew, and it is Tuesday, June 6th, firing up a Titled Tuesday stream. My first one for 2017. I haven't played Titled Tuesday in quite a while. Just waiting for the stream to kick in. Tournament is starting in less than 10 minutes. I am registered, and you can see we've got some big guns, including Hikaru Nakamura, who is just playing in Norway chess. I believe he won his game against Anish Giri. And as I alluded to in my announcement video, Hikaru is such a blitz fiend that he's decided to play Titled Tuesday immediately after his highly important tournament game. All right, did you guys get your shirt predictions and your predictions as to whether I'd be standing or sitting in? I hope you did. I know you're very emotionally invested in that. So hello to everyone in the chat. Hello, Friedrich. Good to see you. James, Almir, Mark, Blaze, Jerry, Philip, Machiavelli, Andreas from Norway, Atrophied, always hello to you. Al Pulley, Yash Mango, coming too fast. Yash Mango again. Heyo Matej. Fantastic. How many viewers do we have right now? This chat is going nuts. I love it. Okay, we have 393 viewers. And Tony Rotella, I just saw you flash past. Hello, Tony. I went with the sitting today. I don't think I can handle the standing. I was just standing for like 2 hours while I was giving a couple lessons. So I went with my instincts and also what you guys were recommending I do. Don't try to stand for the entirety of Titled Tuesday. Thank you, Dragshoot. Yes, thank you, PD Smooth. So there was a Perpetual Chess podcast with me on it. So for this episode, if you don't know what the Perpetual Chess podcast is, just Google that. It's an excellent podcast produced by Ben Johnson. And I am on for this week's episode if you want to give it a listen sometime. He interviews lots of people in the chess community. Hello, Woot. Thank you for the greetings from Amsterdam. I did read this FPS Croatia. Am I prepared? I don't know if prepared is the right word. Mentally, I'm prepared, I think. Chess-wise, I have not been playing much recently. I've just been very busy. Very busy with life stuff. Also overcoming strep throat. Yeah, that's right. There is nothing on that board behind me. The king is making a reappearance, though, so that's a positive thing. Yeah, special hello to those who are tuning in at really odd hours. Before I fired up the stream, I saw someone from the Philippines said that they were tuning in like the dead of night. It was like 2:30 in the morning. So thank you so much for making it for the live broadcast. As always, this will be on the archive version, uploaded immediately afterwards. It's usually up and ready for viewing within an hour after I quit the broadcast. Oh, hey, Casey. I remember you. How's it going? Thank you for the well wishes. I'm just double checking that I'm in the tournament. It says I'm joined. It says I'm ready to go. Let's take a look at, again, the field. So we got Hikaru. We got Georg Meyer. He seems to play in every Titled Tuesday. Daniel Naroditsky, very tough. Gusenov, Akshat Chandra. I'm a little surprised. I thought it would be a bit more top-heavy. I know these are just the chess.com blitz games, and there are quite a few GMs in the field. But I'm a little surprised, at least at the very top, like top 5 through 10, let's say. I thought it would be a bit stronger. But in reality, I mean, as you go down further on the list, like there's still a tremendous amount of strong GMs. Like Varuzhin Akobian, who's well over 2,600 FIDE, is number 28. So that gives you an idea right there. Where am I falling? I don't even know what my blitz rating is right now. Okay, here I am. Oh, do they pair this by... That is by chess.com blitz rating, right? I was going to say, is it maybe by FIDE rating? But that doesn't make sense. So that's not quite my FIDE rating. So I'm number 73 right now in a field of over 200. Okay, so we'll probably get paired down in our first game. Thank you, Anthony. So this is 10 rounds, 3+2 blitz. 3 minutes with a 2-second increment. I'm just trying to get a positive score, Oscar. That's my goal for today. If I get a positive score, I'll be happy. Like I said, haven't played for a while, so we'll see what happens. I'm well provisioned right now. I've got some Starbucks. I also have a shake that I made like 2 hours ago. I got a NutriBullet recently, and I've been making a ton of shakes. I'm fully on board that shake train. So I'll probably be having some of this. It looks very healthy, right? It is actually pretty healthy. There's lots of good ingredients. Thank you, Skeletor Master. We're going to be starting any moment here. Less than 2 minutes. Daniel, yes, I will probably play the Slav today. Almost certainly if I face D4. Manu, thank you for showing up. 1:30 in India, but you are not deterred. Hopefully you're going to be here for the entirety of the broadcast. What's in the shake? Okay, so in the shake there is oatmeal, egg whites, liquid egg whites. There is peanut butter, there's kale, there's broccoli, there's spinach, there's chia seeds, and something else that I can't remember. Something unimportant. So yeah, very healthy ingredients. Oh, a banana as well. There's a banana in there too. Just amazing. Like, if I laid out all those ingredients on a table and had to eat them, I'm sure it would be a pretty daunting task, but you just blend it all up, put it in the NutriBullet. King's Gambit? I don't know about King's Gambit. Yeah, and this shake is not bad, actually. It tastes pretty good, too. I've made shakes of this kind in various deviations. I know it doesn't sound good, but it actually is pretty tasty. You can throw some avocado in there, too. It's always good. The banana for the sweetness, that definitely helps. So how many are we up to right now? 213 players. Registration slowing down, but probably will get some right at the last moment. And we are off against Charles Andy Campbell. Round 1. Let's get those fire emojis going. I see a few already. Maybe we'll get a Slav right off the bat. Let's see what happens. C4 critical test, although a ton of people are playing the London system these days, it seems. This guy has like a... Where is he from? Nigeria. Okay. I was wondering what flag that was. Okay, knight f6. Oh, thanks, Liquid Fox. Appreciate you subscribing. I know, right? Kale shake. I sound so bougie right now. I hope it's not me lagging. I hope it's my opponent. I really hope it's my opponent. You can see the flashing... uh-oh. Connection lost. Please don't tell me that's me. That would be really annoying. Hopefully it's just the server, but I'm getting this message that says connection lost. Let's try to reload. People in the chat are saying it's chess.com. Okay, that's good. Yeah, because my stream seems to be going smoothly and it's actually handling this chat very well. That's not good for chess.com. It crashes almost immediately upon starting Title Tuesday. This could be a short stream, guys. No, even if chess.com goes down, I'll find something to occupy our attention. Yeah, all the participants are freaking out in the tournament chat down here. So it looks like it's happening for everyone. Chess.com's been having some problems lately connection-wise. I was watching a couple videos from the Chess Bras, and I believe it was Amon Hamilton. He was commenting that he was lagging a lot on chess.com when he was playing Bullet. So I don't know if they pushed an update recently or something. Oh, and we got the 502 error. I better get back in the live chess server. if we can get back in. Well, we're back in this server, but things still appear to be down. Thanks to the boss. I don't even know what a 502 error is. I haven't seen that one before. Scott, no, the standing desk is sitting right over here. I just took it down for this broadcast. I don't think I'm in good enough standing shape to stand for 2.5 or 3 hours. Not there yet. Finn's won on time. That's definitely not fair. That is not fair at all. But I suspect that's not going to count. And that we're going to get a restart here. I wonder if Hikaru lost. Just going to scroll through the standings. Did Hikaru go down? Yeah, he did. Hikaru has 0 out of 0. You guys can't see that, but... So, while chess.com is getting booted up again, let's talk for a little bit. A 502 errors when too many fire emojis overheat the server. That's funny. 1 second, guys. Yeah, I've not seen the 502 error before. Is GM a professional goal for you? Asks Lance. Yes, I would love to make Grandmaster. I don't think I'm taking enough steps right now to give it a serious go. I'm trying to study a bit more this summer, though. So I'd love to make Grandmaster at some point. It would be the culmination of a long-standing goal for me. I did watch Norway Chess today. Yeah, I was paying the closest attention to, go figure, Magnus versus Wesley in round 1. Looked like it was a pretty well-played game by both sides. Typical, solid Wesley. Magnus was pushing, but I don't think he was ever in any serious winning position or anything. .502 means the server received an invalid response. Will I beat Hikaru? I hope so. So, Ethan, I need to reach 2,500 FIDE, and I also need 2 more Grandmaster norms. You need 3 Grandmaster norms in total, and I have 1 at the moment. And my current FIDE rating is 2455, I believe. So let's say I'm 45 points away, I need 2 more norms. It's a lot. I mean, it's within reach if I have a couple good tournaments. But I just don't think I'm studying enough to warrant entering a bunch of GM norm tournaments at the moment. I want to make sure I'm really prepared and give it my best shot. Oh, is Simon playing right now in Untitled Tuesday as well, the Ginger GM? I didn't see him on that list, but very possible I missed him because there's just a billion people entered in this tournament. When in your life did chess become more than a hobby, I think someone asked. Well, it's been my profession since 2012, and it's always felt like more than a hobby. I'd say especially when I started playing a lot in middle school, so like let's say 6th through 8th grade, I was traveling a lot for tournaments, was playing at nationals, I was working with my coach at that time, studying, playing all the time. So that's when it became like my main hobby or interest. And I made a lot of strides in that period of time as well. How many hours would you have to study a day to make Grandmaster? That's a very good question. It's a really good question. I'm not sure. I know what I would have to spend time on, at least I think. I got to work on my calculation and especially my openings as well. I think my opening preparation is not nearly up to par for a player who's looking to compete at the Grandmaster level. As far as like a strict amount of time, I don't know. Maybe somewhere in the range of like 2 to 4 hours, let's say 5 or 6 days a week, I think would be optimal. Yes, I'm one of the co-founders of Chessable. Samuel says, John, play me while you wait. It's actually not a bad idea. I'm going to stick around just for a moment and kind of see what's going on with the tournament, but trust me, if this tournament goes down, we're going to do something else. We're going to, fire up Lichess. Head over there. Maybe make a tournament on Lichess. A lot of these big chess sites just have bad luck when they're hosting a major event, like Title Tuesday here, or I remember when I was going to have a match with Jan Gustafsson the first time, it ended up failing. Like the Chess24 server crashed right when we were about to start the match. It was a huge bummer. I felt bad for them. Kevin, you're asking if I'm going to play in the Minnesota Blizzard FIDE Open. I don't know when that is, right? Sometime this August or September. I don't have plans to, but I might very well play. I am going to play some local tournaments coming up. I think a Lichess tournament would be fun if this doesn't pan out. Make like a Blitz or Bullet tournament on Lichess. What do you guys think? Brownie, yeah, absolutely. I'll upload this stream. Hey, Simon. Thanks for checking in from Sweden. Max, I would say make it your goal to play as many serious games as possible, preferably with analysis. Also, you might want to hire a coach or get a training partner, someone who's better than you that you can bounce ideas off of and can give you some legitimate feedback on your game. I'm signaling 3 different drinks right here, like shake, coffee, and water. Hey, Arslan, good to see you, longtime viewer. Is your refrigerator running? Well, you better go catch it. So if you're just joining us, the chess.com server crashed almost immediately upon Title Tuesday starting. Either it crashed or there's some major hang-up. The tournament is just paused right now. I'm just trying to pay attention to the tournament chat based on what people are saying here. So if Hikaru's in Norway right now, what are they, 7 hours ahead, I think? 7 hours ahead of me on U.S. Central Time, so it's past 10 o'clock p.m. I wonder if he'll end up staying and playing or if this delay is just going to encourage him to go to sleep. Do you need to maintain the 2500 while having the 3 norms, which is enough to have just been 2500 once? All you have to do is touch 2500 once. You can even do it mid-tournament, I believe. So as long as your rating on the live rating list crosses 2500 at some point, that counts. And if you go down to 2400 or even lower after that, so long as you have the 3 norms, you still become a Grandmaster. Likewise, when you become a Grandmaster or any FIDE title, you can never lose it. They never take it away from you. Which I think is a good idea because oftentimes you see Grandmasters who have an illustrious chess career and then still continue playing when they're much older. And of course, when they get up there in age, they lose strength. And it'd be kind of a shame if they weren't Grandmasters anymore just because they've slowed down a bit. Refresh? Okay. Let's see what happens here. Whoa. What is going on? Do I gotta join the tournament again? I don't even see the tournament anymore. Yeah, I just refreshed. Let's see what's happening here. Do not even see Title Tuesday in the tournaments tab anymore. Just going into the help channel just to see. I'll be relying on you guys too if I'm missing something obvious. But as far as I can tell, they just pulled Title Tuesday, and maybe they're trying to restart it at the moment. This is going to go pretty late if it's delayed much further. Switch to ongoing tournaments instead of upcoming. Good idea. In progress. So I switched to the in progress tab. Still don't see it there. This is all of the in progress. What is this? 3+2 Premium Blitz. I don't think that's it. Yep, not seeing it. We'll just have to wait until chess.com gives us some sort of warning, or you guys see it. Yeah, why don't we play a couple games while we're waiting here? See if I can challenge somebody. See who we got. Should I challenge Hikaru? Let's see if Hikaru accepts. Might as well, right? This could be a good time to see if the man himself will play us. There we go. He's probably not going to play a 15+10, but let's see if he'll play a 1 minute. Come on, Hikaru. Do it for the stream. This would be epic. I mean, my bullet rating's not that bad. I did a Road to 2800 stream for Bullet, or Quest, a while back, so I think I'm still 2800 or thereabouts. Let's see if he takes it. What's restarting? Tournament restarting? In progress. Yeah, still don't see it. Someone was talking about me in the tournament chat. Tampa Chess says I want my money back, even though it's a free tournament. Some funny stuff being said in the chat. Okay, so Amon Hamilton, who's probably doing the broadcast for chess.com, says it's going to restart in a second. Okay. Well, we are paying attention here. Ooh, I got a bunch of challenges. Just gonna wait for a minute because I don't want to miss the tourney restart. Hi, Emil. Daniel, currently my waitlist is a couple months long. I'd say something like 2 to 4 months. And I'm going to be traveling a bit this summer, so I don't know how much private teaching I'll do. But if you're interested, you can always email me. Go to my YouTube page, and you'll find my email on the About section. Not playing Vegas in 2 weeks, no. Okay, still not seeing anything here yet. Hikaru is playing this event in a restaurant. Check chess.com's Twitter. That sounds about right. Hi, Amar. Hey, Dan. Good to see you. The shake is amazingly sludgy right now, though. Not easy to drink. Almost need a spoon. Andy is Yoda. Hello. Good to see you. Andy is Yoda is a Minecraft YouTuber. And he's been watching my videos for quite a while. Really nice guy. So thank you for showing up, Andy. If you like Minecraft, check out his videos. Anthony, the Hutch collaboration happened. And in fact, I have some footage of it that I might be able to release. I have a few games that I was commenting over Hutch's play. So I think I will try to release them sometime soon. What is going on here? Still not seeing anything. Continue refreshing. I blame the shake for the Title Tuesday crash. Who's your money on for today? Gotta go with Naka. Yeah. Anytime he's in the field, I know he suffers some defeats sometimes in Title Tuesday. Like, he doesn't always come out unscathed, especially in the early rounds. But he seems to be in good form. Just came off a win against Geary, too. So, gotta put my money on him. I learned chess when I was in 2nd grade, so I think around age 8. Wow, we do have over 1,000 viewers right now. 1,076 viewers. Fantastic. I'm sorry that the stream isn't more entertaining at the moment, but again, if you're just joining, chess.com had a server crash right when this tournament started. I only got to play 2 moves, d5 and knight f6. And then everything just stopped working. So we've just been waiting to see if chess.com is going to restart this tournament. Toxic Synergy, you sent me a challenge here. Let's just see. You did. Okay, 3-0 unrated. I just got a bunch of challenges built up here. Let's try the 1-0 first against Night Soul. Toxin Synergy, if I have time, I will play you, but let's do this one first. So Night Soul, I hope you're there. You are here. Okay, good luck, sir. Just playing a 1-0 to start because I don't want to miss the start of the tourney. Let's go d4, advance in the center, see if I can get in d5. Yeah, now this knight is pinned. I think that piece will be lost because if a6, I can drop my bishop to a4. Let's just castle and continue development. Get the knight up to c4. Maybe I'll go a4, a5, try to trap this bishop in, which is now walled in by all these pawns. Night Soul 1 from Canada. Oh, Canada, our home and native land. Okay, take here. Gotta love Canada. Lovely country, lovely people. Take here. Take this guy, and then centralize Rook D1. And he resigned. Okay. Thank you for the game, Night Soul 1. Still nothing going on here. Okay, Toxic Synergy. Where did you go? Ooh, an Atrophied Crazy House sent me a challenge as well. Is that the real Atrophied? Your rating seems a little bit low, but it might be you. Toxin Synergy, can you send me another challenge? I don't see your challenge anymore. I think it just got pushed out. Hey, Johannes. Thank you for tuning in. Along with Laughing Chimera. I think Amon has his hands full. Not going to challenge Amon right now. Play Simon. That's a good idea. Yeah, playing Simon is a good idea. Okay, I didn't see Toxin Synergy, so let's just play Diglett 1995 for this next game. If Diglett's there. He is there. Okay. Just continue developing. Get pressure on d5. Play bishop g5 next. So maybe looking to take on f6 at some point. I guess I'll do it right now. And let's go here. I want to win this d5 pawn cleanly. So let's hit the bishop. Take. Gain a tempo on the queen. And watch out for those knights. Okay, I'm going to set a little trap. If he takes on b2, I have rook takes c6. And then knight e7 is dropping. Ooh, he saw it. I think he saw it, so he averted that. Good thinking, Diglett. Now let's just prop up that knight. Drop this guy back. Play f3. So I'm looking pretty solid in the center with my knights, I'd say. Maybe f4, f5 is a good idea. Ooh, and that is a free piece. Take the free piece. I still have f4, f5. But now he's moved his queen back, so there will be no fork. Take this one. Look for knight g6 check. Invade with the rook. Okay, and we went on time. No rating point gained. So sad. I give you guys permission to flood the chat if this tournament restarts and I don't notice. In the meantime, though, let's continue playing some people. Okay, B99999. You're up next. From Germany. Good luck. Let's play a kingside fianchetto here. Let's go c5, attack this pawn. Take and then play d5. Maybe I can bring the knight to h6 and then into f5. Put pressure on d4. I think that in conjunction with knight c6 is looking pretty good. Already a little tough for him to defend that pawn. I couldn't take it yet, though. I had to be careful there. I think now I can get away with taking it. We got this sufficiently protected. Ooh, nice move. Nice move, sir. I think I can go back here. And then try to go d4 next move. It's a little dangerous because my king is open, but I'm hoping this fork works out. Gotta watch out for queen h5 stuff. I do have f5 against that. He maybe could have played... I think he had something there. I think he could have played queen h5, f5, bishop c4 check against what I just did. Now I'm just going to try to safeguard my king since it's a bit open. If you're head material, trade down. Cardinal rule of playing with a material advantage. Just go here. Guard against any queenside business happening. He can give a check, but I'm just going to hide my king on h8 if he does. Bring our knight over. Unveil the attack here. Could play bishop takes h7, I suppose, here. But he doesn't. Take this guy. Bring our king up a little bit. a3 is weak. Let's just go here. Attack his rook on h5. Which we're able to take. Grab that guy. Now just swing our rook over and hopefully deliver checkmate. Okay, we win that game. I am 30 years old. Still nothing here. Still nothing as far as Title Tuesday goes. We're now about a half hour late. Oh, that's Belgian flag? I'm sorry. Sorry about that. It was Belgium. Okay, let's play another person. Alright, a Godmator. Let's do it. Ooh, Toxic Synergy. I just saw you. Thanks for challenging 1-0, by the way. Oh, thank you, Kareem. Let's open the center, because F3 looks a little suspicious. And I can get this early check-in, so now he has problems with the king on E1 and the E4 pawn. So now I'm going to go win this rook in the corner. And that's going to be checkmate probably in a few moves. Yeah, so that's why it doesn't pay to play F3. That might have been a mouse slip. But got to worry about pushing that F-pawn early on in the game, right? F-pawn stands for forget about it. Remember that? Hey, 3D Dave. Sharp distance, you're next. Let's see what you got. Playing a Pirtz. Let's go F4. Let's take all the central space. Be aggressive. I think I can probably grab this pawn. I know my pawns are a little weak looking. He can play knight G4. He goes all the way back. Okay, so now I'll be looking for bishop takes F7 ideas. Especially now that I've castled. I think the capture on F7 is becoming increasingly tempting. Let's try it. And if he takes, I'm going to play E6 check. Try to draw his king out more in the open. He went back, but I was hoping he would play king takes E6 and we could attack from there. Okay, let's bring the queen over. He might castle queenside. I would definitely think about that. Although if he does it now, he loses the A7 pawn. So he has to be very careful. Now the bishop is driven back to C8, and I can hopefully get my knight in to F7. And just attack, attack, attack. Let's give it check. Should be some cool checkmate here. Does that work? Rook F8, take, check. It doesn't quite work. He has knight F5. I'm just threatening queen F8 now. Let's take here. A little bit lower on time. I feel like I might have had a knockout somewhere there, but I couldn't find it. Let's check and go pick up this guy. Let's check here. And then bring our knight into support. Take that. And we're queening this pawn very soon. And checkmate. Okay. It is me, Pro Game Challenger. I haven't been posting much recently, I know, in the past month or two. Just been busy. Okay, let's play another one. A Godmator. I missed your challenge earlier, so let's do it. Good luck, sir. Play a Scandi. Play the Queen D8 version, too. And now just try to develop smooth. Get the king castled, pull the bishop back to H5. And put pawns on C6 and E6. Very standard stuff. I'll take here, because I'm hitting his queen. So that seems rather nice. We've got a development advantage, or not a development advantage, a structural advantage now. Slightly. Let's try to get my queen active, try to look at some of these pawns. He's playing very fast. But I think my pawn on the outside of the board is going to give him some trouble. He just blundered a bishop right there. Let's just bring this back. Just looking for a swap here, as I am ahead so much material now. Let's just advance the A-pawn. Strong pawn. Take that guy with check. And this is checkmate. Okay, thanks for the game, Agad Mator. This has turned into Play the Subscribers, which is a lot of fun. Not what I had in mind. I was hoping this would be a Title Tuesday stream, but chess.com is not cooperating. Let's play the knight f6 Scandi. A little bit different. You can get more gambit lines out of the knight f6 Scandinavian. I'll try to castle queenside here. Maybe with e4 in mind in the future. Or f5 and then e4. Grab some space. Opponent playing well so far. We win the d3 pawn, but white does have the two bishops. So it's not going to be completely simple. Playing very well. Let's bring the knight in, see how he responds to this attack on the bishop. I think he's got to play this rook to e1. If he plays the other rook to e1, I take. That's interesting too. Let's go here though. g6 is tempting, but I want to watch out for bishop f6. Got to make sure I don't fall victim to that. Okay, so now let's see. If he moves the bishop back to e2, I can take, and if he takes, his rook on d1 is hanging was the problem. Go rook f8. I'm just trying to badger my pawns in here. Bulldoze them in. Give a check. Ooh, and this is checkmate. Okay. Good game, Alex. Yeah, you were playing that very solid at the outset. Maybe c3 wasn't the greatest move. I don't know. Unless you're going to bring the queen out over here. Because c3 does weaken the d3 pawn when I have the queen and the rook lined up against this. So that's a bit of a problem. Tourney up, starting in 15 minutes. Okay. Let's go check this out. There it is. Starting in 15 minutes. Let's join up. Okay. Wow, it's still 10 rounds. This is going to be a long broadcast. So we're going to be starting 45 minutes late. We're in it for the long haul today, guys. Dan, I am not ducking you, sir. But you want to play 3-0. Let's continue playing some 1-0. Oh, hey, Braden. Good to see you. Playing a Slav. Or this triangle system. Just bring the queen out. Pull the bishop back. Reliable setup for black. A little bit cramped, but fine nonetheless. I'm trying to wait to develop my bishop until he takes on c4 so I can do it in one move. That was the purpose of that little waiting game with moving the light square bishop. It's castle now. So black has trouble with the light square bishop. It's not completely obvious how this bishop is going to participate in the game. It's kind of blocked up. I'm looking to play e5. Maybe he just plays knight d5 though against this move. But I think I can win a pawn. So take on d5 and then take on e7 next. And then take on c5 at the very end. So we do go up a pawn, but black has freed their position somewhat. So not the end of the world for black. Trying to hit this bishop on c6. This piece is undefended though, so maybe there's some knight discoveries like knight e3 or something. Just gonna take preemptive action like that. I'd love to get my knight to d6. If I could get it to d6, that would be fantastic, but it's a bit far-fetched at the moment. I'll go here, put pressure on b7. That pawn in turn is defending the knight, so maybe there'll be some tactics associated with that. Let's just double up. Okay. Thanks for the game, Braden. Who is next? Harry Grove. Still got 10 some minutes or more till the tournament starts. Don't worry, Dan. If you challenge me 1-0 and where there's time, we'll play. Okay, here we got a 2100. Let's play e4 to start. Oh, is this E player? I can tell by the avatar. I think this might be E player. Let me know in the chat, Trevor, if this is you. Not familiar with what you do against e4, but that avatar just looks familiar, man. Okay, let's go knight f5. I know he can take it, but I'm hoping this position's okay. Not sure I should have castled that way. This could be a little dangerous. We'll go here. He's probably going to put his queen on a5. Wonder how much of a delay there is on this stream. If I should worry about giving away information. Let's go here. A little concerned about my king safety. I need my bishop to guard a2 at the moment. That's my one saving grace at present. So he's trying to take away that option. Okay, now I might be safe, though. This bishop is doing a good job. Unless he has, like, rook takes c2 or something. Just really hoping that's not a thing. He's getting a little lower on time. Yeah, I should probably take. Let's go here. So I should be a lot safer now. I'm not going to take that. I'm actually just going to play this. Attack his rook. And then maybe go here. Getting ready to reinforce my bishop. Fortunately for me, he has hardly any time left. All right, so we win this one. Tourney starting in 10 minutes. Do we still have largely the same group of players registered? Probably. Looks like some people bailed, but still 166 people entered. Okay, who else do we have here? We've got the alphabet person, who I just accepted, but didn't show up. Drowsy numbness, let's go. If you can find my username, Tarek, on chess.com, it's Finzo905. Then you can challenge me. King's Indian defense. Let's go down one of the main lines. If e5, I'll just castle. But he plays knight c6. Okay, so against that, I think it's good to push d5. Now we'll castle. Let's play bishop g5. Pin this knight. Seems useful. He might play g5 and chase me, but for the moment, this looks fine. Put the queen on c2, guard e4 a bit better. Pull this bishop back. Now I'd like to get in c5, so let's go b4 and then c5. He plays for f5. Compared to normal, though, in a lot of these mainline King's Indian positions, I feel pretty safe because Black's pawn storm isn't nearly as fearsome as it normally is. Let's play this rook over. Let's go here. I don't know how great of a move this is. Just trying to put pressure on d6/c7. Ooh, now we can take this rook. Go here, attack c7 again. Take this guy. Offer a trade of the bishops. No, I think I can pick up that c7 pawn. All right, we win. Ah, sorry you have to leave, Emil. Just waiting for the tournament to start, Dan. Okay, chess player 4936, you're next. Game aborted. So sad. Okay, how much time do we have before this thing kicks off? 7 minutes. I'm going to run to the bathroom, guys. I'll be right back. And then hopefully we'll get rolling with Title Tuesday. All right. We're getting close, guys. We're getting close. That's a great question, actually. Where's Anton? I think this is the only stream I can remember where Anton didn't show up. Yeah, I agree this chat needs to be modded a little bit. Because I don't think our two moderators are here. Anyone want to be a moderator? Anyone going to be here for, oh, Atrophied, okay. Thank you for volunteering, Atrophied. I hope I can just make you moderator right from here. Add moderator, good. Okay, Atrophied. You should be a mod now. Thank you for stepping up, Nicholas, appreciate that. Oh man. Everyone wants to be a mod. Andy, you're willing to mod a little bit? Cool. Yeah, it might be good just to have two people. Thanks for that. I trust both of you guys immensely, so appreciate it. Okay, where are we at here? Starting in 2 minutes. We're getting there, guys. Let's say a little prayer for the chess.com server. Hopefully they fixed whatever issue was plaguing them. Still the same people at the top. They've stuck around. And I am number... Ooh, also Penguin GM1. I just saw Andrew is there as well. What number am I? Shouldn't I be... Why don't I see myself? I'm joined. I thought I was... Oh, they actually changed my rating. It was 2444 before, but now they have 2454. Interesting. Not sure why that was different all of a sudden. Yeah, so number, what was that, 65? 65 of 188 at the moment. Yeah, we definitely need to do some modding in this chat. Some ridiculous things being said right now. Patrick, of course I remember you. One minute countdown. Let's do this. So I'm trying to get a positive score for this tournament. That's my goal. Yeah, Patrick, I'll make you a mod as well. Our moderators just went up from 2 to 5 total for this channel. I don't think I've modded any other people up. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe I should set my sights higher. I mean, realistically, every time you enter a tournament, you want to say you want to win the tournament. But given this field, I'll be happy with a positive score. Okay, Rogue King. We're black again. I was black in that very first aborted game. Rogue King is the first opponent. I think we got enough mods for now. 3 should be enough. Hey, Rajesh. My opponent is not moving. Yeah, I'll do slow chat if it becomes too big of a problem. I think it'll slow down a bit naturally as we get going into the tournament. This guy doesn't seem to be here. National Master Rogue King. Yeah, he also might have taken a bathroom break. There we go. Okay. We get a Slav defense. Very first game. Yeah, I'll take on c4. Just did a little video about this. Let's play this Sokolov line. Knight there, and now knight to b6. This is what I Am Tom Bartel recommends. And I used to play this a bit myself as black. So we'll see what happens. White has a number of moves here. f3, g3, bishop g5. All are possible. You're playing a5 to stop white from going a5 himself. Not quite sure if you put the bishop on b4 or e7, but I'm going to put it on b4. And then just castle. So hopefully we can press this time advantage because, yeah, he did start about a minute down. Seems cruel to do it, but chess is a ruthless game, right? Now I can just win a pawn by taking. So I think I will. Recapture there. Don't see immediately how he's going to get it back. Also, d4 is weak. So I don't think e4 was a successful move by him. Queen d2 hits this pawn. Thinking about knight e4 or knight d5. Maybe knight e4. Yeah, let's go knight e4. Now the queen's protecting here. If he takes with the bishop, I'll take. I was thinking f6 in this position. Can also play knight d5. Knight d5 is interesting too. I think I like knight d5 a little better. I'm going to go for that. If queen takes, I'll take on c3 with the bishop. This is my thinking. And I see some ideas like I might be able to play queen takes d4 after that. And if he takes on d5 with the knight, then I can take with my pawn and defend e4. So yeah, let's do this. Just some nice tactical shots here available to us. So like if queen d3, there's queen takes d4, queen takes d4, knight e2. And it looks like I'll have that opportunity. Yeah, flashy little move. Attacks his knight as well. Looks bad for white. Yeah, he's going to be down 2 pawns. So he's going for a counterattack around the king. I think queen e4 looks like a good move here. Queen e4 so that if he takes, I have knight e2 checkmate. I'm liking that. Doing what I do best. Trade the queens. Trade the queens and try to win in the endgame. Okay. Knight c3 takes on b7. This looks solid. I think I'm going to go here. Knight c3 is like a constant headache for him. I had knight d2. Knight d2 was better, but still there, I suppose. Knight d2, rook takes b7. Okay, fortunately, we still get this move in. A fork of the 2 rooks. And we win. Okay. So in that game, it definitely seemed like my opponent messed up when they played e4 on move 13. Yeah. You have to be careful when you're using a counterattack as a defense. A lot of times a counterattack can be the correct idea, but I've noticed for lower rated players, like not specifically referring to this player at all, but much lower rated players than him, they often figure that they can attack one of their opponent's pieces if their own piece is under attack and somehow get out of it that way or like confuse the issue. But generally you don't want to do that because your opponent has that one move jump. So after e4, I just took his bishop, he took my bishop, but then I take back, and unless white has a good way to regain the pawn or something here, I don't think this is good. And that's a useful little pattern to know right here. So queen takes d4. If I can entice white's queen to capture, then my knight is in forking distance, and I recover all the material. I'm up 2 pawns after that, should be winning. Okay, so good start to the game, to the tournament, that is. Just taking a look at the standings. Always interesting to see if there's early upsets in these tournaments. Hey, Army Medic from Chicago. I have my Starbucks in hand. I don't know if it's going to last the entirety of the stream. Almost certainly not. But we'll see. John, can you recommend an opening for white that's aggressive but not giving up a pawn? Depends what opening systems you're talking about. Are you an e4 player or a d4 player? There's lots of gambits within e4. And you can certainly play without gambiting in e4 as well. So like the Joko piano, for instance, might be something you want to look into. So currently the delay is 12 seconds. Okay, that's good to know. I have had a Title Tuesday stream or two where my opponents messaged me after the fact and said they were watching the stream as we were playing against each other. So I know that's a reality of doing this. I just hope it doesn't give away too much of an advantage, but I just do this for fun mainly. Hello, Hema. Yeah, I can put on another game, because usually there is always a game or two remaining. Let's put on Akshat Chandra's game. It's a good idea. Thank you for telling me that. So Akshat looks like he's on the verge of winning. He's got rook against bishop, 2 pawns each, but now black's going to take this other pawn. And white's in zugzwang. King b4 loses the bishop. So Chandra will win this. Definitely resignable for white. Mate in a couple moves. Rook a5 checkmate. There you have it. And let's look at another game. How about Gusenov? Gadir Gusenov. Okay, well, this is interesting. So Title Tuesday seems to attract a lot of king and rook and bishop against king and rook situations. And it's looking like that's what we're going to have here. And in fact, wow, Gusenov is the one down the bishop. So black with every chance to win, all the chances in the position. This is a theoretical draw, but it's tricky to hold. I've never had to do it in a game. I'm not confident that I would hold this in a practical game. I know some of the main ideas, defensive ideas, but it can be torturous. And with this increment, we might see the game go for a while. In the short term, black does want to pick up this pawn, but maybe they're intentionally trying not to do it right away so as not to invoke the 50 move rule. Maybe black will try to checkmate a little while and then go win the pawn, which I guess they could always do with king f5 and bishop f6. Depends where the rook is, but yeah, some sort of king f5, bishop f6, and eventual capture of the pawn is going to take care of it. Like now, when the rook moves away on the 6 rank, like bishop f6 here looks... Oh, but wow. Black just agrees to the rook trade. Now it's an immediate draw if white takes. So, I don't like that decision by black, but maybe he figured he wasn't going to win that against a Grandmaster. Still, though, if the shoe was on the other foot, the Grandmaster never would have done that. They always would have played for the win with the king and the rook and the bishop. How about this game? Renato Terry Lujan. I've seen this player before. I think they're quite strong. Renato Terry Lujan. Who is the highest rated player you beat, John? I've beaten a couple players over 2,600. I think maybe the highest player I beat at the time that I defeated them was Alex Shabalov back when he was U.S. champion. Oh, wow. And Renato Terry Lujan goes down in this game. Lost on time. In a losing position, though. It looks like this pawn is just going to queen. So, yeah, I beat Alex Shabalov when he was over 2,600 and the U.S. champion at one point. So that was a pretty big win for me at the time. Only 2 games left in this round. This one just got over. Rosen lost. And last game. Karina Chess 1 versus Hammy Sandwich. This is 2 rooks each, extra pawn for black. What is going on here? Ooh, that's a nice move. Rook c2. Okay, so if white takes, pawn takes, and then here we're going to get king and queen versus king and rook, which is a win for the king and the queen. Does require some technique. And let's see it. Let's see if Hammy Sandwich can do it. She's going to slowly approach, try to corner this king and the rook. Queen f2 looks logical here. Keep driving that rook back. Against perfect defense by the side of the king and rook, this can be difficult to win. However, perfect defense is not easy for a human to fathom because it often involves separating the king and the rook pretty significantly. And most humans, actually like every human I've met who's played this endgame with the rook, is very loath to do that. They hardly ever do it. Okay, black's making good progress. Pretty soon, black's going to put white in zugzwang. So queen check, and then I believe just king here, and already that's happening. Yeah, so now white has to go somewhere with the rook, far away from the king, like rook g1 or a7. Now black can win this rook. All they have to do is employ like a series of checks, and eventually black's going to get to the a7 square with their queen. So, yeah, like now queen c8 or queen d8, either one. King here. Check on one of these two squares. Note that if ever the king goes up to h6, there's queen h2. So black's just going to do this zigzag and then eventually fork the king and the rook, which you're going to see right now. There we go. Nice technique by black. It's one thing to know these, like in theory, like how to win, but another one to execute it over the board. So nicely done. So Patrick, this was supposed to start an hour ago, but the chess.com server crashed right when the tournament was about to begin, and that delayed it by about 45 minutes. So we just completed round 1 after the restart. So this stream has been going for a while. Ooh, I am playing Hikaru. All right, guys, maximum concentration in this game. Get those fire emojis ready. Get them out, guys. Let's do this. All eyes on me. This is the matchup we've been waiting for. Even tried to get it right before the tournament started. Just bring the knight out. It's Fianchetto. Okay, how to take down a super GM. The first thing is just not to panic. Let's go d5. I think this gets into some sort of theory, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it a shot. So now let's take. Yeah, knight takes, and pull the knight up to f5. So I'm sacrificing a pawn and trying to get some compensation in the form of this bad bishop. Knight d6 is interesting. Hitting that bishop. Let's play e4 first, though. And kick the knight. And now we'll go knight d6. I'm just trying to put this bishop on an awkward square, like make him go bishop a6, rook e1, and I want to try for e5. So sacrificing a pawn, hoping his pieces are bottled up. Knight b5. He wants to trade that off. Okay, makes sense. Kind of like the look of knight f5. I'm going to pull this back. Don't want to trade. I do still want to get in e5. And I feel like this knight is awkward. I might be able to kick it with a4. If he plays g6, I can check on h6. d6. Huh. So allowing a4. a4, knight c7, take. He probably just wants to complete his development. Let's go. Feel like taking with the knight is correct. So I'm going to do that. Bishop up. Okay. Okay, let's go back to f5. Queens were traded. I'm hoping that his knight is a little awkward to get out from d7. If I check, he just brings his king up. Do I have some sort of follow-up there? Nothing super compelling, I see. Knight d4, I might get pinned, so I don't like that. f4 is nice and energetic. Yeah, what about f4? Let's try that. Gotta play to win, right? Against these top guys. e5. Yeah, let's keep pushing. Trying not to retreat. Oh, this looks so passive for black. There's got to be some way to punish this. b4 maybe? Then he takes. Okay. Can play bishop h3. Rook d8 is not cutting it. Okay, let's go here. I got to be wary about getting too far down on time against Hikaru. I mean, he's just an absolute beast in time pressure. Any sort of time duress. Probably going to play bishop b7. But then I can take, right? Am I winning a piece there? Take there. Well, let's find out. Take, rook d6. What's his defense? Uh-huh. Okay, still though, I think this is decent. I gotta go for it. Now I'm gonna develop. Try to get the knight to d5. I can take this pawn, I feel, whenever. Okay, let's take it now. Rook d3, I think knight b5. Otherwise, knight e4 looks pretty good. Bring the knight up. Try to threaten some knight f6 business. Got to be careful my king doesn't get too weak. Now he's threatening rook d1, though. Rook d1, checkmate. Might have to bail out, so do this and then try for knight f6 ideas. Not what I had in mind a few moves ago, but I don't see that I'm immediately losing or anything. So take, check, and then regain the rook. Step to f1. Knight d4. Let's push this. Bring this guy over. Guess he has rook c4 now. But actually there's some tactics. There's some tactics. Let's do this back. Trying to get my knight working somehow. Like knight into c6 next. Or a5 even. But g3 is weak. I'm not sure I should have pushed h4. Not 100% sure about that operation. Let's target this pawn in the meantime. Okay, I'm going to take this. I know he can take with check, but I didn't like my rook having to babysit that at all times. Attack this. Okay, we'll take here. We'll be down 2 pawns now, unfortunately. Maybe some outside chances. Let's go here. Can push his h-pawn now. Go knight e7, I suppose. Try for knight f5 ideas. Hard to stop that pawn. Bring this back. H2, I gotta play rook h1, I think. Rook f3, king g4. Let's get this over to defend. That's a nasty move. Do I have this? Pin the knight? He has f4 check. Yeah, f4 check is going to do it. Yeah, I will resign. Okay. Well, that was an interesting game. I feel like I fought well. The opening seemed to go very well. I like the position I had. Attacking position, but he just calmly defended. Cool, calm, collected defense. Let's go back and take a look at that. Thank you for the numerous fire emojis. Yeah, so right around here, I vaguely knew the theory in this line that white can sacrifice a pawn in order to tie up black's pieces. So you do this d5 pawn sack, and after takes, you put the knight on the rim, bring it to f5, and you bank on the fact that black's pieces are pretty poorly placed. And I know it's important to stop black from playing d5. So that's what I was trying to do with the knight into d6. It looked like he was bottled up. And after a4, I managed to win the pawn back. I was a little surprised he went for the queen trade. I was expecting him just to play like knight d7, somewhere right around here. So he did go for the queen trade. And just my instinct said to play energetically in this position because I have, it's not even fair to say I have a lead in development, but somehow with this knight being unable to enter the game via d7 with my rook covering it, it feels like I should sharpen the play to try to take advantage of this slight imbalance in my favor. And here we got this interesting pawn structure, all the pawns lined up on the f-file. He played this very passive move. This seems like a critical position, meaning whatever decision I make next will be extremely important. I don't think I can save this pawn, so it's a matter of how best to sacrifice it. And I have the two bishops, and my dark square bishop has no opponent because I just took his dark square bishop, so I want to try to play something aggressive. And I went for b4, b5. I thought I was winning a piece here, quite honestly. I did not see knight a5. Otherwise, with both knights under attack, two undefended pieces, I think I would be. I looked at, like if he plays rook here, it's important that I take that knight, because if I take this knight, he has check, and then he can take here and simultaneously defend his rook. But in that case, I would have rook take c6, and after check, king up, my rook is doing a good job of defending. But that's just a testament to how resourceful these guys are. I don't know if Hikaru saw that in advance. Maybe that's why he paused slightly right when I played b5. He paused right here. He thought for 12 seconds before playing bishop b7, which looks like an automatic move, but maybe he was working out the ramifications of this and seeing that he had knight a5 at the end. Here and this. Did I have bishop b2? I don't know why I didn't consider bishop b2 in this position. Bishop b2, take and take. I don't know, though, because my pieces are kind of poorly placed. I guess I have knight c3 here, though. He'll get some counterplay with his rooks. But anyways, just my cursory analysis of that position. This is where the game got critical, in my opinion. b4, b5, and the resulting play. Yeah, I think after all this happens, I'm probably not better. If anything, I might be slightly worse, because his pieces seem to be coordinating a bit better. I had to waste time going after the f5 pawn. That was a fun one, though. That was a good game. Yeah, and in the rest of it, I was just defending the rest of the game. Like, rook c2 was a good move. That threatens rook d1 checkmate. Very few ways to get out of that, unless I want to play something truly passive like knight f2, but that doesn't look right. So I tried to do this. This just amounted to a fancy trade. And Hikaru just outplayed me from here. Again, I'm not sure about this h4 move. I hate to weaken my g3 pawn like that, but with rook takes h2 hanging over my head, it didn't feel right. Maybe I can play king g1. My rook is also poorly placed, though. It's kind of just doing guard duty along the third rank. Hikaru used an engine after seeing your Play Magnus videos. That's a good one. Oh, so someone posted the Lee Chess link. I was apparently plus 2.5. Must have been early on, huh? Was there a moment early on, kind of around that time I was pointing out that white had an advantage? Looked like it was going well. Also maybe here, I don't know if knight f5 is quite the right move. Like e5 is an alternative that looks pretty logical too. Yeah, e5, and if knight takes d6, take on f6. He does have queen takes f6, though, guarding the knight. Okay, let me put up a Another game. Oh, and actually we got the next round already. Squirrel LOLs. Okay, let's play d4 again. I'm just going to stick with d4. B takes c6 is where I lost the advantage, huh? Gotcha. Yeah, and I thought I was capitalizing on my combination there, but he proved me wrong with that knight a5 move. That was nice. Okay, I'm inviting the Nimzo Indian here, but no, we're going to have a Benoni. I'll play a line I like against the Benoni, which is to try to restrict that light square bishop. So h3. Go knight f3. Ah, on this line. Yeah, this variation is a bit tricky. Haven't faced this for a while, so black delaying castling. And I think they go knight e5 now, that's right. And then after the trade, they put the knight back on g7 to kind of hide it, tuck it away. Bishop g5. Not familiar with that move. I thought knight g7 was the move. Okay, so if I take, he takes on e3. That doesn't look right, so I'm just going to play queen d2 and offer a trade this way. And I actually feel that trade of bishops is advantageous to white, because that's one of black's best pieces, that dark square bishop on that diagonal. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the positive words. That was fun. Wish I could play Hikaru and guys of his caliber all the time. Okay, knight to f6. So I have the option of a quick e5 here. e5 and try to exploit my little lead in development. e5 takes, queen takes, take, check. Yeah, you know, his king looks a little awkwardly placed there. I think I'm going to go for it. Now, which one to take? Probably taking on e5 is best. Yeah, and play this endgame. Castle this way. So I want to get d6 in fast if possible. Okay, first let's check here, though. So I think he's going to play king f8. And now d6 looks pretty good. Just don't want my pawn to get overextended, though. Also g4 is kind of interesting. d6, he probably is going to play rook b8. Let's go for it. Let's play d6. See what happens. Open the bishop. Just, it's a double-edged move because you hope that the pawn doesn't become too weak there. But I think I might be able to attack c5, b7, a7, all those pawns. I think he needs to play rook b8 now, as far as I can tell. But then maybe rook e7 is good. Rook e7, rook d7, though. Rook b8, another candidate move I have is knight b5. Plays bishop e6, really? Huh, so you're just going to give me b7. I can't say no to that offer. So, okay, if I play the bishop to c6, he's going to play rook b6, I think is his point. So probably bishop back here. And now the thing is, this pawn is weak. He might get d6, but I might win c5 as a little counterweight. So I'm thinking rook e5. And if he takes, I'll end up winning that pawn. Does have knight d7 here. Knight d7. Knight d7, maybe rook e4, and pivot over, try to go rook a4 after that. Yeah, this is a key position. He's deciding whether he wants to take this pawn or somehow try to defend c5. It's awkward for him to defend c5, though. So he's going to do it. I was thinking rook over against this move. He's going to play a6 after that. Nah, still, I think I have good chances to just win that A pawn straight up, like knight A4. Trade and then get the knight into C5 at the end. Looks good. Yeah, let's do that. So if he takes... I also even have rook takes A6 here. It's interesting. That's nifty. Rook takes A6. It's a cool move. Take, check, king here, rook A8. Very important I have rook A8. I think it works. Let's do it. So taking advantage of the undefended rook on D8. That just seems a little better than that knight C5 move. Like maybe I don't have to put my knight into C5. It's not clear to me how much counterplay he's going to get. Like maybe he can trade and play knight E4, something like that. So now my A pawn is a significant asset in the long run. But he might be able to attack my king side because my king side is going to be depleted of pieces. Let's just pre-move this. I have a feeling he's going to take on D1. Yeah, and then knight E4. That's right. Okay, let's do this one. This looks correct now. Let's take. Okay. Knight C5 comes to mind. Knight C3. Knight C3 check, king here. That should be fine. I want to blockade with my king on D2 quite badly. Just got to make sure we don't get checked now. How to do this. Let's go here first. He's going to play bishop D3. Oh, he's going to do that. Okay. That I didn't anticipate. It's a good idea. Okay, I think I gotta go try to win this pawn. Oof. Bishop E2, totally missed that. That hurt. Yeah, that's game right there. Took my eye off the ball for one move. That one hurts. I thought I could keep that bishop at bay, but I missed bishop F1. Maybe I should have played in this position, or sorry, in this position. Maybe I should have just played king D2 directly. Like king D2. Didn't want to allow bishop takes A2 though. Maybe knight C5, and at least in this case, my king is blockading the pawn. That's a bummer. I think I was playing a good game otherwise. Just lost focus there for one move. Yeah, that D pawn became too much of a problem. This position's already pretty tricky. So I was intending after this to play rook into C3. So rook down to C3 to defend this pawn. And then hopefully try for knight takes D2 after that. But even still, he's getting quite a few pawns over there. Well, yeah, that's a tough loss to take, especially when you feel like you're outplaying your opponent. Yeah, the more I think about it in this position, I think I should just take some care. Even B3. I don't know why I didn't consider B3 as well. That's a strong candidate move too. Although even here, so like B3, he can go D2 check, king here, and then this move. And I got to watch out for bishop C2, so probably have to play something like this. Although maybe I can play the knight back and help defend. But basically, I got to be watching out for that bishop to check and then promote on the next move. Oh, chess.com is giving me a shout out. That's cool. Awesome. Dan, the channel's been growing at a nice steady pace. It's been great. Yeah, thanks to you guys. Thanks, John, or Yon. Thanks for tuning in. So that was round 3. 3 of 10. Let's take a look at the games. Let's see, who's playing right now? Daniel Naroditsky is playing. He's in a rook end game with equal material. Almost certainly this is a draw, barring some disaster. White's only idea is to play e6, but White is not in any position to try to win this position. Yeah, and we'll just play his king back to f2 or f4, defend the pawn. Yeah, it's still early. We can still come back from this. Okay, that game was drawn. Let's check on Shrek David's game. He's currently trying to convert against this bishop, which is holding this f2 pawn. Ah, tricky move right there, threatening rook h3. Ooh, is this going to do black in? Rook h3 checkmate. That looks pretty brutal. Black's king is in exactly the worst position. That's over. Black can promote, but White will just take it. Yeah, that's done. Nice little tactic to end that one. And then we got some games from some lower rated players, just wrapping up here. Whoa, White very nearly flagged right there. I've been in that situation before too. Feel like you're about to flag. That 2-second increment, I know like in a bullet game, it seems ridiculous that you would ever flag with a 2-second increment, but it sneaks up on you when you're just concentrating that hard every single move. Hikaru lost? Really? That is surprising. That is very surprising. Okay, I'm playing Chess Ninja. I'm just trying to verify that about Hikaru losing. Be interesting to see. I can't really check right now, but I don't see him at the top, so yep, that appears to be the case. Okay, looks like we're getting another Slav. Yeah, let's take again on c4. This worked out well in the first game. So we're playing this Dutch variation. Bring the knight out. Yeah, queen there. I'll pull the bishop back to g6. So I can win a pawn here by taking and then taking on e4, but I don't know that theory too well, so I'm going to decline to do that. I think White plays bishop a3 after that and tries to trap your king in the center, so I'm not going to go for it. Okay, now I know bishop h5 is standard, but I'm going to play queen e7. Let White play e5 and then jump the knight into d5. Played this position a couple times. I just think it's a little more interesting. Okay, so take, he has bishop g5. Could take with the c pawn. It's intriguing. Or with the e pawn, rather. Let's try that. I don't know if this is recommended, but I'm going to go with it. We'll see what happens. Just trying to spice it up from normal Slav theory. Okay, now I was thinking take this way. He has a protected pass pawn, but I have the f-file, which perhaps I can make use of at some point. He's trying to crowd my bishop over here, which makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's just play that useful move. Stop any incursion on g5. I think a5 was a good move for White because I would have played a5 if given the chance. secure my bishop on b4. Hard to say, Noah. Yeah, I was doing it a bit earlier this stream, playing some of the subscribers. Bishop d2. So he maybe wants to take and try to transfer his knight. Which, actually, I think I'm okay with, so let's do that. I was thinking rook f4 now might be decent. Could also try to strike back in the center, some sort of c5 move. Let's play rook f4. I think he's going to play queen e3 against this. Queen d3. Okay, let's go here. It might be better to have the knight blockading on e6. Maybe I should have done some knight f8, e6 plan. Okay, let's do this. I'm thinking if he ever goes f4, I might end up playing g5 at some stage. Also kind of playing around with rook h5 ideas. Let's just defend this nice and solid. So at least now he's not going to put his knight on b3. That seems clear. Gonna hide my king for a move. Gotta watch out for rook takes c6 ideas later, although I think with my rook defended on b8, it's not gonna be an issue. Okay, let's swing this over. Let's see if he plays h4 or not. He does. b6. Try b6. Want to get this rook working somehow. I was thinking about following rook h5 up with g5, but I'm concerned my rook would get trapped. Something like queen f3 against that. So we'll try to open a different flank. Just go a6 defend. Got to keep in mind that I also have rook takes h4, perhaps at some point. Okay, queen g4 is interesting, attacking this pawn. Now I sort of feel like I need my king back over here, though. I want to guard f8. Yeah, let's try this now. Going after this d4 pawn. It's like now if he goes queen e7, I can just play knight f8. Attack time. I feel like he stretched a little thin. He can't go to d1 with his rook to defend because my queen covers that square. Okay, now I can trade and check and then pick up the b pawn. That seems good. Take on b2 next move. See where he steps with the king. He's going to let me check him. Okay, now c5 maybe? c5, there's e6. No, I think that's good for me. I'm going to do that. e6, knight here. Knight into f6. Okay. Let's take with the knight. That seems trickier. So now he's got to watch out for knight c4. Okay, knight f3. Let's go knight c4 instead. This pawn's not dangerous yet. Now I think I'm just going to try to hunt it down. And hopefully be up 2 pawns. That pin situation always takes him a little time to work his way out of. Let's go here, just defend. Whoa, that's discovery. Okay, and we won. So it looks like the kind of side-to-side strategy, attacking a little bit on the king side and also opening up the queen side, worked out in that game. So just to illustrate what I mean, like right here on move 22, I played rook h5, threatening queen h3 business. So white played h4 to stop it. I thought about trying to more aggressively continue with the king side attack, like play queen g4 or g5, but on g5 I didn't like that queen f3 was making my rook kind of run out of squares. It just looked awkward on h5. So that's often how you want to play, is principle of 2 weaknesses style. Don't just focus on one area of the board. Try to open another area of the board as well, so you can keep your opponent guessing about where you're going to strike. And I think I had him on the defensive here. I don't know if I strictly played the best moves like king g8. Maybe I can do without that move. I just played that for safety's sake, so that I could always play my knight safely back to f8 where it's covered by the king. But yeah, after he traded queens, I think this position rapidly becomes poor for him due to this check. I think he was banking on the fact that my rook is poorly placed on h5. Like if I were to take on b2 right away, he does have g4 and the rook is trapped. But I can deliver that in-between check, rook f5, and then take, and from there it was kind of suffering for white. Okay, how are we doing in the tournament? Or not we, per se, but ooh, Penguin GM1. I'm sorry you guys can't see the points, but Penguin GM1, Andrew, has 4 out of 4. He's doing excellent. Won all his games so far. And wow, he's got a great chance to do well in this tournament because like Hikaru suffered that loss, or actually a draw. Okay, so Hikaru has 3.5 out of 4. But the 2 other guys up with Penguin are 2 guys he can definitely beat. Like this guy, C. Stefan, has 4 out of 4 and he's 21.97. Karanke is a very good player. Not that Andrew's going to have easy games for the rest of the way by any means at all, but that's a great score to jump out to. So we'll be rooting for Penguin, rooting for Andrew. Thanks, Ty. And cool freestylers. Man, I can tell my voice is already getting a little strained. I'll be all right, but that's one thing you hate to see happen in the middle of the stream. Amon got trolled, huh? So far I've lost both my games with white, and I've won both my games with black. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but sometimes it seems to me that it's easier to be black in short time control games, blitz, and especially bullet. Somehow when you're short of time, just reacting to what your opponent's doing and not actively prosecuting the advantage is just easier psychologically and also from a time management standpoint. Yeah, I agree. If this was Ultra Bullet, Andrew would already be champion by now. Hello, Oscar. Glad you stuck around. That's right, with black you can play the Scandi. Very good point. All right, let's just click on a game or two. Let's look at Indian Lad's game. He has 2 queens against a rook, so I'm pretty sure he's going to win this. Barring some miracle stalemate. No, that's mate on the next move, queen a1. Either queen to a1. Okay, that game's over. How about this one? Interesting situation here. Looking like white is going to be lucky to draw this because, or maybe white is the one playing for the draw because this a2 pawn is ready to queen on a1. And I think the only thing white can really do is move their queen around. Maybe they could try to maneuver their queen to a1 to block it, but you hate to see your best piece tied down like that. Ooh, okay, but now, yeah, now the knight had to move, so this rook seems a little more accessible to an attack by white. What? King d2. Why would you let black queen there? Oh, that's that was my bad. In this position, white had no useful checks. Wow, that's amazing, actually. Wow. Let's just go back and see that for a second. Knight e7, I thought that was a bad move by black, or that black was making some concession here. But in fact, that knight just covers all the checks. Okay, well, next game is starting. I'm playing Alex Fishbane, a Grandmaster. I played him over the board at that tournament I played out in Charlotte, North Carolina, about, 2 months ago? So, all right, you know what? It's time for the Scandi. Let's throw d5 at him and see how he reacts. What? d3? Come on, Fishbane. That's one of the most lame moves possible you can play against the Scandi. Okay, let's play e5. I'm still going to try to get him to take here. Try to take on d5. He's going to play some sort of King's Indian attack setup. Haven't seen too many players play d3 on move 2. They're that scared of the Scandi. Okay. Just thinking about how I want to play this position. I'm going to play bishop d6. I know he can take on d5 and then jump a knight in, but somehow it didn't seem like he was going to do that. So yeah, he's just going to pursue like a normal looking setup. So now I think I'm going to play knight bd7 and try to maneuver my knight over to the king side. I had a good game against Fishbane in that tournament. It was a Torre attack. I was on the white side, and he messed up a bit in the opening, and I ended up winning a nice game. He takes. Take right now, huh? Okay, I'm kind of curious how he's going to follow that up. d4 maybe? Let's go knight g6, so just defend this pawn. I don't know, taking seems odd when I get this powerful center pawn side by side like that, but yeah, he's looking for some way to counterattack. That's pretty clear. Bishop f5 comes to mind here. Let's play d4 though. Let's just close it down. I think he's going to play knight e4 now. But then I can take and maybe push my f-pawn or play bishop f5, something like that. Okay, let's bring the bishop out, attack this pawn. Drop this guy back. I guess he's going for knight c4. He is. Okay, let's pivot our knight up here. Did I just blunder knight takes d4? Yeah, I did. I think knight takes d4 is a problem. Good tactical eye by my opponent. Definitely missed that when I played my last move. So if take, he takes here at the very end is the problem. And then I have to go for some sort of desperate attack. I don't like it. Can play bishop takes d3, but that's no picnic either. This is a big problem all of a sudden. Don't have too many alternatives, unfortunately, for me. Like bishop back to c8 looks really unappetizing, but there's knight b5 then. Okay, I'm going to take and try to deal with this, but not good. Okay, let's go here. Queen f3 is looking strong. Attacks my bishop, also helps defend his bishop, attacks b7. Guess I'll go here. Now I just got to try to swindle something. Make something happen here. I think he can take on b7, quite honestly. He does. So if I take on d3, that's not working out. Okay, let's go here. This is going from bad to worse. Okay, let's go here. He can take on d4 with the queen, hit g7, also g4. Gotta play this move, I think. Defend the bishop, defend against queen takes g7. Down multiple pawns. Also can't take twice on d6 because I get mated on g7. It's a nonchalant move. All right, well, let's sum this up. I think he's preparing rook e1. Yeah, actually, that's probably just fatal for me. Can I take? Let's try it. So if he takes here, I take f2. Nah, that's just winning for him as well. This is going to be game over. I mean, queen trade is pretty easy win for him. We'll play on a little bit, though. Ooh. Bishop takes f6, checkmate. Okay. I thought for a second he blundered a piece, but no, that is not the case. We got crushed that game. Good example of losing your sense of danger for a moment. Yeah, I blundered knight takes d4, and I think my position just goes from acceptable to terrible immediately. Didn't see a good remedy to this. Because my bishop on f5 is under attack. I mean, I thought about playing like a really passive move like bishop c8, but with knight b5 coming, e5 being weak, it didn't look that good. But the way I played seemed so simple for white too. I think I'm just dead losing here. b7 is so weak. I wasn't able to generate anything on the king side. Sort of just flailing around trying to defend. So let me see that position right before I blundered. Yeah, right here. Knight d5 looks so natural because you want to go to the square that his pawn doesn't control anymore. So that pawn that was previously on c4. But I paid the price. So I think something like, I don't know, maybe knight d7 even should be fine. Maybe rook c8 if I want to get my rook off of the same diagonal as white's bishop. It's a game. Yeah, it did. It went downhill fast. We still have quite a few viewers, even though I'm not doing so well in the tournament. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. That game finished really fast, so I think I've got a second here. Sorry I didn't put on a game here. Let's take a look. As I was walking away, I realized I didn't put a game up for your viewing pleasure. Let's take a look at Penguin. He's in an endgame against Archer Chicks. And he's up a pawn. Okay. I mean, tentatively, I'd say White's better here, but whose pawn is faster? White's A/B pawns or this F pawn? Yeah, Archer Chick's F pawn looks hard to deal with. His king is now getting very active. King up, okay. Now he has to play, rook d4 check, pick up the knight. That's going to be fatal, I think, unless Andrew pulls something out of the hat. That's going to be bad. Simon just beat a Kobian. How's Simon doing? I'd be glad at least if one of us streamers is doing well. Okay, now he has to go rook a3, and I think Black's idea is knight f4. I think they're trying to play knight f4 and then push the f-pawn. That's tough to meet for White. Because Andrew can queen, but it may not do him any good. Like, even there he had rook c3, but it wasn't enough. Ooh. So if queen, take, knight d3 I think is coming. Rook h1? Rook h1, Andrew? Oh, check. Okay. But now he's got to give up the rook for the pawn. This is quite the position. So Andrew has 3 passed pawns, and he can queen at any moment. So probable draw now, I'm guessing. Yeah, Black just has to get their king kind of in distance. Wow, this would be a nice save for Andrew if he holds this, which he almost certainly is, because he's the only one with winning chances. Knight a4, yeah, hold this pawn. This is a draw. Black's going to go clean up this h-pawn, king g4. And it'll just be drawn. He's trying to work his king around, but the knight can easily stop the pawn in this case. It's no problem. Ooh, why are you... I don't know why he would be playing it like this, though. He had an easy draw right there with knight c3, b6, knight a4 check. Why play it like this? Now he just wants the knight on the b8, the very secure b8 square. Yeah, this is still a draw. King c7 or king a7. You can check. So maybe Archer Chicks was just going for a position he knows is an ironclad draw. Yeah, pick up the pawn now. That was an exciting endgame. So Andrew has... just click to another game here, but Andrew has 4.5 out of 5. And Karanke is the only perfect score at 5 out of 5. Pursued by a number of people at 4.5, including Hikaru. Simon crushed a Kobian. Good to hear. Just looking for Simon on the list. If he played a Kobian, he's probably doing pretty well in the tournament. There he is, 3 out of 5. Okay. Good stuff. Round 6 coming up soon after this last game here, which White appears to be completely winning. It's king, rook, and bishop versus king and rook, but White has an extra pawn. So that'll do it. And that pawn is about to promote. So game over. John, when's the last time you played Greg Shahadi? It's been a while, probably at least a year. Okay, round 6. Let's try to get something going here. We're playing Game Over Bro from Canada. Just going to start with knight f3 on move 1. Let's play d4. And he might play an old Indian, it looks like. Go for e5. Yeah, he does. Let's play g3. Usually I'd play e4 in that situation, but I just feel like something a little bit different. Thanks, K00J1. Yeah, just feeling something a little different in this position. b3, maybe a4, bishop a3, something along those lines. Let's play bishop b2 for now. Thought about playing a4 to really force the bishop to a3, but it seems premature. So I'm not going to go for it. I might keep this pawn off of e4. Usually you would put the pawn on e4, but I think I kind of like this way. Maybe try to use the f5 square later. Let's bring this rook over. So if he fianchettos the bishop, perhaps I can use the weakness of d6, the slight weakness of d6. Maybe then I will play bishop a3. Kind of try to prove that d6 is a bit of a concern. Like take, bishop in. Becomes something white has to contemplate. Plays the bishop back, okay. Thinking knight a4. Just to unveil my queen and my rook. Also, maybe someday c5 is a move I can play. He's a little cramped. He's got to figure out how to get out of this. Kofefe variation. On Chessable, my name is Jay Bartholomew. Okay, he takes. So I could take with the rook or the knight. I don't think I want to take with the pawn. Rook looks correct to me. Yeah, let's do rook. Just to put pressure on d6. I have this feeling he's going to put his knight on c5. He does. Yeah, he's going to play for activity. But we get a better pawn structure this way, so I think we're justified in going for this. Rook f4 now, maybe? Nah, probably asking for it with rook f4. Let's just bring the rook all the way back. I know he has bishop f5. But I thought just move my queen, play the bishop back to b2, and I should be a little bit better. So yeah, let's do that. Maybe he's going to go a4. Yeah, but I think even still, bishop back to b2, hit this pawn, hit the knight there. Okay. I don't want his rook coming down there to a1. I'm going to play a weird-looking move. Just so that if he takes, I don't have to give up control of the file. He might try to double now is the thing. Or play that move. That's also a good idea. Missed that one. Knight d2, I guess? Hopefully he doesn't have bishop c2 ideas in mind. Okay. Now he's got to be a little careful, because if he takes on b3, I think I might have some take and then rook b1 sort of operation. Maybe not. Well, let's try. Okay, take. So I'm going to try to go here next move. That's my whole point. Just putting himself in a pin. If rook a2, I think I have queen d3. It's working. And if rook d8, queen takes b3. Okay, so he voluntarily puts himself in a pin. Queen d3, rook d8. Okay. What about knight e4? Queen d3, rook d8 is annoying. Take on b3, he takes on d3, I take here, he takes here, I take here. Okay, I'm going to try this. I know rook d8 is a thing, but I think I got to go for this. And try to just win his pawns. So like now he's going to take on d2, I take here. If rook a2, I do have rook f1. And so long as his bishop can't attack this pawn, I should be alright. c6 is weak. Very likely a draw, but maybe I can work something out of this, because now I have this move. So bishop takes f7 coming. Does have a passed pawn. Let's take with the rook. Gotta watch that time too. I've got 32 seconds. Tactically sharp game. Let's go here. Looking for some bishop f7 ideas. Hard to know what's happening right now. Just going for the pin. He's tied up. I think I can play h4 next pretty easily. Really? Okay, capture. Let's go here. If he takes, I have rook takes b6. He saw it. Okay, I'm going to try for the win. This is dangerous, but we're going to try. Rook a8 is a big threat, as is rook takes b6. Let's go here. Let's check. Okay, I think I'm winning now. Just don't lose on time, John. Because of this move. Very important move. Ooh, okay, I win. That was a tactical melee right at the end with those opposite color bishops. A lot of times opposite color bishops indicate a calm position, but with the rooks on the board, the pair of rooks each, it was involving mutual attacks on the kings. This was a really clever idea by him in time pressure. c3. I didn't understand the purpose of this move, but after takes, he gives this check. Yeah, now he's threatening to take on f2 with check at all times. And I tried to play king g1 to bait him into playing rook takes f2. Because if he does that, I have rook takes b6, this shot to disconnect the rooks. But he didn't fall for it, he just kept checking. Rook b1 here, and then I decided to play rook a3, because I can give the pawn and then go here. I think that's an important detail. Because if I had to play king h3 or king h1, he's taking here with check, and the game gets crazy. I might even like lose in that case. But here, and his coordination is just a little suspect, because I'm threatening rook a8 with mate to come, and I'm also threatening rook takes b6. So he needs something very precise, but I don't see what that is. He did that, and then we pin. He's still got that issue with the rook. And if he plays this rook here, I can take on b2, and the rook is overloaded. So he takes, check, here. Originally, I thought rook e8, which might also work. I think that also works, but I think just taking here is simpler. And now his rook is under fire. He can attack the bishop, but I have that. And get the skewer if he takes it. Okay, so glad to get that win, and also get a win with white. Let's look at Simon's game. He's still playing right now. He's in an endgame against Fidel Corrales. Simon was white playing the London. Don't want to miss any action here at the end. Ooh, is he going to lose? Because, oh, that's a bummer. He lost on time, but is he lost on the board as well? Yeah, I think he just is, because he can't stop this pawn. Just take a look at what happened here. Okay, so he was fighting against two connected pawns. It's tough. Okay, so Simon goes down. Although I think now we have the same score as Simon, so maybe we'll play him. It's always fun, right? This game is about to be over. Kovalenko is on his way to winning. Igor Kovalenko is super strong. Latvian Grandmaster, he's like 2,700. I have been watching the NBA Finals, Dan. I haven't watched the games in their entirety, but I've been paying pretty close attention. How's everyone doing? Good afternoon or evening or morning even to those of you who are tuning in, all 1,200 plus of you. So we just finished round 6 of 10 in Untitled Tuesday, which ended up starting about 45 minutes late because they had to reboot the server. Just taking a look at the standings right now. And again, I apologize that you guys can't see it. So these top 5 players all have 5.5 out of 6. 4 GMs, including Hikaru, and then Penguin. Our boy Penguin, Andrew. So we'll certainly be rooting for him. This is the last game of the round. A rook endgame. Which is looking drawish or white wins. It's a pretty safe bet. One of those two results. Although you never know with all the flagging that goes on in this event. Okay, now maybe white... yeah, white might win because white's king is in a good position to escort this pawn up the board. And black's king is not optimally placed for defense. Like king f4 can be rebuffed by rook f8 check. Kick the king away and then push the pawn. Yeah, black's losing here, I think, with their king cut off. Although, actually, it's not completely over. They can go for side checks now. Still, though, the position of the black king is a problem. Just cut off like that. Black has a little less time, too. That's a good move, though. Yeah, close in. So if e7, king there, okay. And again, black's going to give these side checks. Check, king d7, check a7. And there's just enough checking distance that... Yeah, I think this is a draw, all of a sudden. White's rook is in a bad spot. If the rook could ever come to the d file and block, white would hold this, or convert this, but what can white do? All they can do is try to walk somewhere with their king, but it's not going to work. If king c6 now, just rook a8. Yeah, and if king d7, we can resume checking. If rook here, you have king over, and the king closes. King f7, there you go. Now again with the checks. That's an instructive endgame. I would have thought at the start of that endgame, with white's king up on d5 and the pawn pushing, that white would just be winning. But that seems to be not the case. Hello, Vanessa. Okay, so that game's a draw. Round 7 coming up. Here we go. Playing Yan, 1, 2, 3. I think this is International Master Yan Lau from California. Good young player, young IM. Don't recall playing him before. Let's continue with the Scandi theme. Can't believe I lost to d3 in the Scandi. That's just so depressing. d3 on move 2. I think I give that about 1 line of coverage in my chessable repertoire. But yeah, it is a move. Okay, a6 here. Try to go for b5. Bishop b3, c5. This is all theory. And if he takes, you trade and then play e6. And we can recover the pawn in a number of ways, actually. a4. Okay. a4 will go b4. Keep the position closed. Now white almost always plays bishop e3, but he's going to go knight e3. Okay. So let's do this. Now where to put this knight? I'm thinking c6, but also like d7 would be the normal square. No, I think let's go to c6. So he's trying to carve out some squares to utilize on the queen side. Let's take. Thinking about parking my king up on e7 soon. Knight a5 is tempting here. Yeah, let's go knight a5. Kind of put the question to his bishop if he's willing to let me take, or how he wants to play the position. Also, when I play bishop b7, my bishop will have a nice diagonal. I'll go here. You can play knight c4 now. Okay, bring the king up. Oftentimes you don't need to castle in these positions. Queen's off the board. The king is perfectly content in the center. Bishop c4. Just going to bring the rook over. It's going to go for b3, I think. To try to prop up the bishop. Still, I should have good play. Thinking about centralizing. No, he backs that off. Okay. Okay, I could play b3 myself now. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Just before white gets a chance to change their mind and play b3, so I feel like this pawn is going to be annoying to white in the future. Maybe move this knight, put it on d6, play like f6. Yeah, let's do that. So some maneuvering going on now. It's a little annoying. So if take, bishop takes, and how do I defend that pawn? It's tough. I think I gotta take for one thing. Let's go rook here. So if takes, a bishop takes f3. He does have rook a3 now. Just wasn't sure how to deal with that. Bishop in here. Nah. Okay, let's go knight d6. Now I just got to try to play for some activity, I think. Bishop here. So if he moves the bishop, I can take on b2. My b-pawn got squirrely, though. Pushing down to b3. Okay, let's try to push this out of the way. f5, f4 in mind. Bring this guy over. Knight c4. Take, bishop e4 check, something like that. Hope that I have enough counterplay. Now doubting whether I should have played f5, but I gotta create counterplay somehow. Goes and attacks that guy, okay. I'm gonna pull this back. Maybe he's going for rook b3, trying to simplify that way. Ah, knight there. That's a nice shot. So now we gotta take and roll the dice. Let's do this. Ooh, he could have taken on g4 right there. Would have been better, I think. Well, I don't know what's happening now. I have bishop e4 check. Still down a pawn, but maybe his pieces being bottled up over here gives me some hope. Or maybe not. Maybe he's just gathering my pawns. I'll check. Let's play this check to start. Yeah, I think losing my a6 pawn is just going to be too much, but maybe there's something. Ah, he blocks that way. Okay, gotta take here. Gotta take. Now I'm just going to try to go after his pawns. Okay, take. Try to block. I think I gotta push these pawns. Try to make something happen. Let's go here. Oh, he's gonna go for this, okay. Gotta check now. Maybe I'm just losing because my rook is gonna wind up too passive. Yeah, I think I'm just losing now, unfortunately. Can play his rook to b6 or somewhere. Yeah, this is lost. Okay. Resign that. Yep, got outplayed in that one. The endgame was always looking shaky. I don't think I should have pushed b3. In hindsight. I thought this move would cause some inconvenience to white because I harbor hopes of getting the knight into c4 long term, trying to attack b2. But it just wasn't to be. Yeah, maybe knight e8 is too slow. I was trying to play for control of d6, but in retrospect, this looks like a luxury I can't afford. So knight e8, knight here. Yeah, and after the trade, I think I'm just doomed to lose this pawn. He's got rook a3 coming, and I can't hold it. None of my countermeasures really did much damage. f5, if I'm not going to play f4, I probably shouldn't even play f5. Do I have some cool shot like bishop takes a4 here? Nah, probably not going to work. I was thinking bishop takes a4, and if he takes with the rook, I take his bishop, and if he takes with the bishop, I take b2, but that's not enough. Not enough play. Okay, let's go to the other games. Someone said Andrew Tang is on fire. Ooh, he won again. Wow. Andrew has 6.5 along with Hikaru and Tennis Master. Do you guys know if Andrew's streaming this right now? That'd be awesome if he was. John, do you talk to yourself mentally? Let's take a look at Spinal Tap's game against A. Fishbane. Do you talk to yourself mentally during OTB games the way you vocalize your thoughts when streaming? No, I don't. I don't do that. I just have like this subconscious dialogue going on. I guess everyone kind of talks to themselves in some way, but definitely not the way I do it in my videos. This game is going to be over soon. White is completely crushing. Should be done shortly. Any other competitive games going on? Ooh, how about Blitzstream? Kevin Bordy, another streamer. Haven't talked to him for quite a while. So he's playing with queen and pawn against 2 rooks. Very likely a draw. White's pawn is going this way, but white can never advance it without it being captured. Yeah, this is like 100% a draw. Now black can take on g5. I don't see why not. Wow. If I were Kevin, I would have just given a perpetual there. I don't know how white is possibly going to win this, barring some major blunder. Like, as long as black keeps those rooks defended, there's nothing white can do. Maybe he's not taking too much risk this way, but... Andrew is streaming. Excellent. I'm definitely going to watch this later. That's great to hear. So he is either going to play Hikaru in this round, or if he keeps winning in the next round for sure, provided Hikaru does as well. So I have, what, 3 out of 7? Kind of rough going so far. Ooh, and now he loses. See, this is what I was talking about. You can get skewered like that, so... Pretty foolish decision, I think, by Blitzstream to try to play this for a win. Just give the checks and take the draw. Like playing queen b7 here, there's almost no upside to doing this. Who else we got? Just one more game. King, rook, and knight versus king and rook. You always see these endgames Untitled Tuesday. This is an even easier draw than king and bishop and rook versus king and rook. It's just harder for the knight to create mating threats and cut off the king, so I don't know how many moves they've been playing it, but if black defends reasonably, it's a draw. Oh, speak of the devil, black gets checkmated. Rook a8 mate. Okay. Well, that means the next round will be coming up soon. Oh, you taking off, Patrick? Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a mod. Okay, next game against Schemato. Let's play d4. Been facing e6 a ton this tournament. e6 on move 1. It's a flexible move. You get into Dutch positions. I don't know if I want to play a mainline Stonewall, but I kind of don't have a choice, so yeah, I guess I will. It's going to go for d5 in the Stonewall variation. I think I'll play a line where you try to trade these dark square bishops, because the dark square bishop is one of black's best pieces, so I'm going to try to get my bishop to a3 and swap it off ASAP. Let's take with the knight. Can also take with the queen there, but I think taking with the knight makes a little more sense. Let's go e3, just a stabilizing move. Let's go on a4. Okay, pressing aggressively. Let's pull this guy here. So round number 8. 2 rounds remaining after this. Is Andrew playing Hikaru right now? Because we will take a look at that if it's still going. I think my opponent wants bishop a6 next move. Could play b4, but he takes on c4 in that case. Here, take, let's say, knight d2. b5, bishop takes c6. It's not so good. Okay, let's go here. So bishop a6, I'm thinking maybe bishop f1 to help defend this pawn. Either that or I could do a maneuver of this knight, like knight e1 to d3. That might be better. But now let's play bishop f1. Reinforcing move. I don't think my bishop is all that great on this diagonal anymore. Not a huge fan of my position right now. Go here, try to defend the c3 square. I mean, it's not an awful position, but I don't have an advantage, that's for sure. Let's bring this over. Rook b8 is a little odd unless he's going directly for b5, but I don't think that would be part of his plans for some reason. What are you talking about, Dan? Benjamin Buck. Position's fine now. Don't foresee too many difficulties. Just think his rook fb8 move was questionable. See you, Martin. He's thinking. Thinking. And then plays h6 after all that. I think I'm going to go with this maneuver. I want my knight on d3 and then eventually into e5. Plays a3. Okay. Not sure where my queen was best off there. Could turn out to be better on like a1, let's say, because now he might go c5. Center could very well open up. He's taking a lot of time, however, so he doesn't seem too confident as far as how to play this. So if I play c5, nah, I don't like all those trades. Let's just jump in, take the center. If he goes c5, maybe I put the bishop on g2. He's going to do that instead. Let's pull this back. I don't want to swap the knights. His knight is bad compared to mine, because mine can always get to e5 later. Okay, let's do this. Can take on d3 now, but I should have a slight edge in that case. Okay, now we get to take with the knight. I like this. Again, let's not trade the knights. Let's hold off on that. Let me just take this. And prop up that pawn. Maybe queen b3 to come. So he's vulnerable on d5. Just take this guy. Go after this pawn. I have a4 in mind, just expanding. Okay, what does he got here? Now if he takes on b4, I take on f5, and I'm forking hung his rook, but I was winning otherwise, I think. Okay, so he had a fine position out of the opening. As I was saying, I wasn't liking my position very much, like say around about here. But it seemed like he just chose the wrong plan in the middle game. Rook fb8, for instance, didn't look correct. Probably should play either on the king side or maybe more directly for c5. If he's going to put the rook anywhere, maybe this followed by that. Let's look at Andrew's game. I'm really curious how he's doing. If I can find it. Is it over already? Hikaru beat him already. That's too bad. Yeah, Hikaru won that. Who else is in the mix? Tennis Master. Tennis Master, I think, is done. Let's look at Naroditsky's game. Yeah, it's too bad Andrew lost. He was having a good tournament. Still is having a good tournament. I have made no progress on this shake over the past 3.5 hours. 2.5 hours. It's just so thick. I can barely get it down. I know that statement's going to be used against me. Get your mind out of the gutters, guys. Okay, white wins. So Naroditsky loses that. Other games that affect the standing. So Tennis Master and Hikaru have 7.5 out of 8. Let's look at Robert Hess's game. Wonderful time. Thanks, AWSM. How's Simon doing? Is he still playing? Didn't see him up there. These positions are so brutal to play. Time pressure, still lots of pieces on the board. Looks to me that Robert is doing very well. He's up a bunch of pawns. And Black's king is in danger, but I've just seen things go wrong in positions that are way less clear than this. Or way more clear, I should say. But that looks pretty convincing. Yeah, win the rook. Queen takes e2, rook f2. That's just GG. Queen d3 should be sufficient now. Yeah, nice safe move. And Robert's just up an entire rook. Looking for trades. Take the knight. Don't think there was anything wrong with taking the knight. This will also probably be checkmate in a few moves. Yeah, Robert won. Okay. Let's check Archer Chicks and Max Illingworth. That game was just drawn. I don't know what you guys are talking about right now. Ibrahim. Why is Simon withdrawing? I wanted to play him. Yeah, all these games are just one-sided. This game, White's getting killed, about to resign. He offered a draw, though, instead. John, do you remember about your longest thinking time for a move in an OTB game? I definitely thought over a half hour on moves before. And in fact, I distinctly remember a game I played in Washington, D.C. one year where I had this really tough defensive position. I basically had to work out the defense precisely in a tactical position pretty shortly out of the opening, too. And I did manage to figure it out, and I set this cool trap for my opponent that he fell into, but it required a ton of thinking time, something like 30 or 40 minutes to work it out in its entirety. So yeah, I've had a couple things over 30 minutes. I'm drinking a few different things. I'm drinking a shake, and I'm drinking coffee, and I'm drinking water. I guess Simon has some sort of commitment tournament he's got to go to. Yeah, you know, I'd love to do something like the Boston meetup. Absolutely. I'd love to do that again. I think in the Twin Cities, I'll definitely try to host one, maybe even this summer. I'm going to be traveling a little bit. I'll be in North Carolina in August. I'll be in Tucson, Arizona next month, teaching at camp, along with Eric Hansen, in fact. He's one of the instructors there. It's the Western Invitational Camp. But if I'm able to in some cities and I have the time to do it, I'd love to do these meetups again. It's pretty funny, Yummy Egg. I'm more subdued when I win, yes. Soares, I haven't been to Europe since December. I was in London in December for the London Chess Classic. But for sure, if I come, I'd love to do another meetup sort of thing. Is that the last game of the round? Yep, it is. Okay. Round number 9. Playing Andre McAvey 2000 in FM. I haven't been doing well with the Scandi, so I'm not going to completely forsake it. We never forsake it, but we're going to play a Sicilian instead. It just feels like a change of pace. Ah, this line. Okay. Okay. I think I play... Let's play d6 against this. Just try to discourage him from playing a quick e5. Now I'm going to go knight bd7. And hopefully b5 and put the bishop on b7. He's going aggressive. g5. Okay, let's stick this here. Do this. So sometimes white can get really frisky like he's doing and expand rapidly with these kingside pawns. So you just got to stay calm, keep a compact position. Let's go g6. I think g6 is a decent move here. Might even castle queenside. Definitely thinking about it. Yeah, let's do it. He's going to rush with his h-pawn. h5 maybe in this position. I don't know. Could also consider just bishop g7, but h5 is going to be kind of annoying, I admit. e5, e5 also possible. Yeah, let's go e5. I know I give up the d5 square playing this move, but I'm hoping to land my knight here, is my thinking. He has a bit too much space. I feel like I need to do something against that. It's a very interesting position right now. Let's do this. Bombs away. So lots of tension on e4/e5 now. He can just take that. And if I take, he takes on e5. Gotcha. Okay, let's take here. Send the knight up. Lost a pawn. At least I got my knight to some decent squares. Both knights. But that's a pretty big pawn to lose, unfortunately. Okay, let's do this. I'm looking for bishop h6. Bishop g5, yeah, annoying move. Let's hide the king. Knight's coming into c6 now. Just trying not to get destroyed in the short term. This is a terrible position. Yeah, he's centralizing. I think I gotta try to take on d5. Let's take this first. He might move the bishop back otherwise. Takes with a rook. Alright, let's try this. Some complications that could very well not be in my favor, but find out. Let's take here. I think I gotta get some counterplay with this h-pawn now, as best I can. His f6 pawn is strong, but my h-pawn could also be strong. d6 is weak, but I don't think I have time to worry about that. I think I just gotta go for counterplay with the h-pawn at all costs. He could trade and then play rook f1 probably, which I think he will. He does. Okay, where to put this knight? Just bring this back. Huh. There wasn't much to do against that, unfortunately. Yeah, now taking g6 should do the trick. Gotta take. Yeah, rook h1 is simple. Simple enough. Okay, resign. Did not fare well in my black games against e4. Just losing every black game against e4. So, what happened here? Got kind of a cramped position. I think e5 was bad. I felt like I needed to break out of the position somehow right around here, but the weaknesses I create with e5, especially the d5 square, proved to be too much. My opponent played well, played very fast and confident too. So clearly like a pretty good player. Strong FM. I tried to make it interesting with f5, but I overlooked the fact that after takes, if I just take on f6, he takes here, and my knight is on pre, so I don't have time to recapture. So that didn't work so well. Was that a chessable line? Nah, that was not. I don't have a repertoire on the con. I gotta look that one up, though. I remember studying something with this early g4, g5, but I don't think I reacted at all well to it. Maybe like all this is okay, but white has a massive space advantage, so black has to have something pretty convincing in this position. I seem to remember some game, Judit Polgar versus Lev Polygaevsky in this variation, but it's possible the position I have in mind is just a lot different than the one I got in the game. Okay, let's check on Hikaru's game. Oh, I think it just finished. Let's check on, yeah, Andrew's game. Andrew is up the exchange. Okay. He's still got good chances to try to finish near the top. If he wins this, he'll have 7.5 out of 10. That's going to put him in a tie for third, it looks like. So it's pretty good. Bishop takes a4. Did he blunder that? Looks like it. Okay, so Illingsworth is going to give him some trouble here because material is now equal, and white has these A and B pawns. I think Andrew's going to try for e4, but probably knight c5, keep black's pieces restricted. Hello, Lucas. Yeah, we got to pour one out for Anton. I don't know where he is. He's helping, what's her name? I'm blanking on her name for some, Fiona. He's helping Fiona a lot recently. I saw he's been editing some of her videos, which are awesome. Fiona Steele Anthony. So maybe he's defected. Maybe he just doesn't have time for us anymore. No, I'm sure that's not the case. How was Andrew as a student? Was he always strong? Yes. Always strong, always very serious. When I would give him positions or puzzles to solve, he would always solve them in their entirety, even if it took a while. He's just kind of a natural chess talent. And he's improved a lot mostly through playing. Like, he's not one of these big guys who, at least I don't think, maybe this has changed in recent years because I haven't been working with him as much, but he's not one of these guys to sit and study for 3, 4, 5 hours straight. Like, he's doing a lot of playing online. He sticks to the same openings very consistently, so his repertoire is pretty narrow, but he does well with it. And unfortunately, it looks like Andrew's going to go down in this game as he pulls off some sort of miracle. He's very good at classical, yeah, so he's 2460, 2470. I mean, relatively speaking, he's better at these faster time controls for sure. But wouldn't surprise me at all if he's in a position to become a Grandmaster in a year or so, maybe less. I mean, he already has 2 norms, so he could definitely make it in less than a year. Okay, so Andrew loses. Looking at the top standings, Hikaru has 8.5 out of 9. He's just been rolling since that early draw that he took. And this Grandmaster Yuri Solo has 8 out of 9. Tennis Master and Robert Hess have 7.5 out of 9. I have, what, 4 out of 9? Not very good. So I can get a even score if I win the last round, but definitely a little disappointed in my performance so far. As you can see, tough tournament. Every game is difficult. Oh, thank you, Lance. I appreciate that. What was the opening in Andrew's game? That's a good question. Let's take a look. Looks like it was a London system. Illingsworth is a big theoretician in D4. He writes for chesspublishing.com, the D4 section. Does a really good job. Okay, last game, guys. Let's try to make this a good one. End on a high note. Against Jano FM. Playing d4. And again, we face e6. Just every game, e6. Is there a memo out? I don't like to face e6. This time he played d5. Okay, so at least we're going to get a QGD. Or a semi-Tarash. Okay, we'll play the main line, I suppose. I think I'm going to play this a3 move. Seems to be a little more ambitious. Try to stop black from using the b4 square in the future. So it stops bishop b4 check. This move I'm not aware of, though. That is a move I'm not familiar with. I mean, taking seems critical, but I don't know what I'm getting into with that, so I'm just going to play d5. Taking, I guess he could always play check and then regain the pawn, so maybe good I don't take. Let's just develop. f2 is a little weak, but I think I can cover that pretty easily. Play bishop e2, get ready to castle. Seems like he'll have to address this pawn sometime soon. Hikaru has 8.5 out of 9. And he's playing in a restaurant in Norway, apparently. Okay, I don't mind my position right now. Seems fine. Just castle. If he takes, I'll just take back. Probably play knight d7, though, I imagine. It does. Rook b1, hit this pawn. Okay, so now I kind of like my light square bishop's possibilities. Let me start with a4. Yeah, let's start with a4. We got a funky looking pawn structure. You don't see this sort of pawn structure too often. Pawns on d5, e4, and this pawn on e5. It's taking away some squares from my dark square bishop. I think I'm going to maneuver. Yeah, let's offer a trade. Maybe send the knight over to the queen side somewhere. Just thinking about bishop a6 stuff, but maybe a trade is in order. I could have thrown in h3, I suppose, first. I should be a little better. Feels to me that my position is easier to play. Let's bring the queen in. Probably not even threatening to take this pawn yet because he does have rook a8, but this appears annoying. Where to put this bishop? Maybe b2? Attack this pawn. Yeah, I like the look of that. Standers, fire emojis, thank you. I love it. Bring in that fire. Okay, this rook isn't doing hardly anything, so I'm thinking rook e1 could be good. Could also pull the queen back. But I kind of want to keep my queen over there, I feel, so yeah, let's do this. I wonder if he's going to go for more of an attack against f2, play f5 or something. I can play a5 if I want. Bishop here, just take. Yeah, let's play a5. Just try to weaken his queen side a bit. It's a bad pawn for me in the long run, so I think trading it off is appropriate. Plays bishop d6, okay. All the way back. think I should take, so I'm going to do it. He's got knight c5 coming in the future. Can play bishop a3 maybe and just try to trade. That bishop on d6 is pretty strong, in fact. So yeah, I'm thinking about trading it. Just making sure I'm not running into any tactical issues. Don't think I am. Knight b8. Queen a4. b5. I have queen a5. I'd like to break his blockade of d6, so that's why I'm offering this trade of the bishops. Eventually try to get at e5, b6. He's got some weak pawns. So he can play b5 now, but I have queen a5. Keep my connection with the bishop. Okay, we get that trade. Let's go here. Well, maybe not. Let's go here. Try to invade. Down to 22 seconds, but this looks annoying, this pressure here. Okay, let's push this pawn. Time to act. His queen is out of play. Huh. That's a good move. Let's go here. I think he's going to plunk that queen on d7. Okay, let's take. Can I hold this d6 pawn? I don't know. It's going to be tough. Let's go here. Create some luft. Need to get my knight involved. So I'm trying to get it up somewhere useful. This is just a time scramble now. This is not good. Blew that. Totally blew that. Just play rook here. Yeah, this is over. Just not my day, guys. Struggling mightily. Queen e2. See if he notices the hanging queen. Gotta throw in that trick, right? Before you resign. Oops. Ah, man. Okay. So we go down in the final game. Very sad. I just kind of lost the thread in time pressure. Was up a pawn, but couldn't figure out what to do because my d-pawn was always blockaded. This is a good defense by him. Maybe I should throw in queen check first. Queen e6, specifically to stop his queen from coming to g4. That probably would have been stronger, because, yeah, he came up with this very nice move in time pressure with the queen coming back to d7. And yeah, I win b6, but d6 is hard to guard. I think he actually could have played more directly for it. I thought he was going to do something involving rook c6 at some stage. I was on the alert for tactics, or at least I was trying to be, but I just didn't see any. Still, even here I should be better, because his king is weaker than mine, but boy, nothing ever panned out. Probably d7 was winning right here, close to it. d7, rook d8. I can't take on c6, but it's got to be something. Let's just see here. Instead, I kind of fiddled around with my knight, but nothing was ever working. Like, no knight f8 ever appeared to be there. Once he got his knight into d4, this is where it really started to turn, because now his knight was strong, blocking my queen. And because I played this kind of pointless f3 move, my king is open, and yep, d6 might fall. That's rough. That's chess for you. Some days are just not yours. Yeah, here I gave up the exchange because I'm just completely pinned down otherwise. If I play rook f1, I think he can just bring his king up and then trade everything on f3 in another move or two, and I should just lose that pawn endgame. So, had to try the dirty trick, right? Queen a8. So what to say about this event? Definitely feel like I was a little rusty. Playing this many strong players in the row is, of course, difficult on its own. But I think coupled with the fact that I haven't played in one of these Titled Tuesdays for a while, I could see my rustiness. Didn't play well with black against e4. And with white, I spoiled some opportunities, particularly when it came to tactical play. Tournament was won by Nakamura, by the way. He scored 9 out of 10, so he must have drawn that last game. Oh, thanks, Dragshoot. I'll check that out. Something about taking the pawn on e5. Oh, yeah. Good question. So in the opening, I don't think I can afford to take this pawn because I'm behind in development. I was just seeing disasters happening with moves like, let's say, queen f6. If I take, hitting the knight, also the pawn. If I were to bring the knight back, then the rook on a1 is hanging. So that is a good question, but I think given my backwards development, king being in the center, and the fact that the knight is unprotected on e5, I probably just can't go for it. Unless I'm missing something. Like maybe there's some way to make queen f6, f4 work, but it looks incredibly dangerous. Let me just take another look here. Just wondering if there's any other kind of instructional moments. I was pushing my a pawn on the queen side, trying to get rid of it. I think once we got to, say, like this position, white is comfortably better because always black has difficulties tending to e5 and b6, whereas my structure is very safe. Here's your final standings, by the way. Hikaru, Yuri Solo, and Tennis Master, all Grandmasters. And myself coming in at 82nd. I think I was, what, 60-something pre-tournament, so not the strongest finishing. My goal was to get a positive score. I didn't get there. I thought I was going to get him when I played queen e7. Like, this was looking positive right here. f6 is an undesirable move to play as black. I thought my d-pawn was just going to carry the day, but this was a very timely defense by black. Queen to g4. So if I had thrown in this check first, let's say, drive his king away, let's say h8, and then here. I mean, even this is not completely clear because he can play, let's say, rook d8. But maybe with the queen out of the game, it would have had a better time, at least, of converting this. Thanks, Noah. Thanks for the support. And thanks to Grant as well. I think Hikaru, the first prize, along with the cash prize, they were giving away a trip to the chess.com tournament on Isle of Man. That must be some sort of package to that event. I think they were giving it to the top finisher and then also the top female finisher too, who I don't know who that would be, just looking at the standings. But yeah, there's a very strong tournament that chess.com sponsors, over the board tournament, that they were giving away a couple packages to. Thanks, Lance. Glad you guys could tune in. Sorry I didn't perform better. Kind of a trend with Title Tuesdays, but I'll do better in the future. Hopefully you guys still enjoyed it. And this turned out to be a long stream. We started at 3 o'clock or shortly before 3 o'clock. We had that delay and then played the 10-round tournament. So thanks to those who gutted it out. Yeah, no standing desk today. I went with the sitting. Issa, yes, you can support the channel. I have a PayPal link. If you click on the description, you'll find it. It's in the description to almost every one of my videos. So if you feel so inclined to donate, I always really appreciate that. Isle of Man, no, probably won't play that. Thanks, Latan. Any future plans for any chess fundamentals videos? Yeah, I would like to add to that series. I don't have a topic in mind right now, but I would like to add to it a bit. Okay, well, we had a good sweat too watching Andrew. I was hoping he would do a bit better. I'm going to go watch his stream because someone said he was streaming. He finished 7.5 out of 10. Pretty strong showing in this field. So anyways, I'm going to wrap up now. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll try to do better next time, but it was fun. Enjoyed talking to everyone. And I hope everyone has a good rest of their week. I'll be back again soon with some more videos. All right, bye guys.